the point that I was afraid.
But when you coming out the hood, $65,000 don't sound bad.
Nigga, we the same. We come up the same corners. We ain't had much. Just gotta hustle. Nigga, you gotta go hard.
Okay, I'm over here with Dr. Dre. Eminem, you heard me?
Every song he was doing was so crazy we couldn't, there was nothing to get rid of. There was nothing that we could even say, oh, that would be cool for a mixtape.
Nobody likes me. Nobody likes me.
That's okay, cause I don't like y'all anyway. You know?
Hold on a second. I'll be right back. I'm from the police. Look, I'm going to go inside.
Welcome back to another episode. I've been working on this video for the past few weeks, and I think it's going to be a special one. I'm curious to know what you think about this documentary style type of content and what you'd like to see next. In this video, we're going to take a look at someone who by many accounts should not be where they are today. We first have to look past the fact that he literally dodged death and then never stopped leveling up. But how did he do this? Some say because of determination, while others call it being in the right place at the right time. But I have a suspicion there may be more to it than just that. Which raises the question, is there a blueprint that anyone can follow and apply to your life so you could level up? Or maybe it's just luck. Either way, I find this interesting. In this video, we're going to try and see if we can answer these questions. At the end of the video, we're going to use the trail of breadcrumbs left behind to break down his rise. Now let's get back to it.
What y'all niggas know about the dirty South? One time. Lord, forgive me for I've sinned over and over.
This is my grandfather right here. Right? He part of the reason I ain't rap too tight. You know,
I'm part of the reason you is rapping a little tight.
You'll be successful as the motherfuckers that you talk to for no reason. What I mean is, if you spending your day talking to a nigga that ain't got nothing going on, what the fuck kind of information could he offer you?
Picture this, a young nigga getting it like Rich Porter. Sonny came in behalf of Pitt. He got knocked, he on lock, still controlling the spot from constant.
fuck on in this car, I don't give a fuck.
Turn down 2 deals. That's 2 deals we turned down.
You could be a rider and ride or a coward and hide. Either way you go against me, you still gon' die.
Right now, if you punch me in my mouth, I'm up. I'm up. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm all the way. Let me tell you, I'm all the way up. And guess what's gonna happen? Once you punch me in my mouth, I'm gonna get my man Terrence, K.O. Lewis. I'm gonna get him to punch me in my mouth because then I want to get double the money. But I'm gonna say you did all of it.
No, because it ain't gonna matter. Because I'm gonna take the same kind of money that you would get and get it to the homie and go shoot your cat. Couple times. Because they finally get a chance to run. Then they start feeling fun. All of a sudden, everybody don't remember nothing. Oh, that lawsuit. No, I don't want to do that.
No, but wait.
They shot me, then shot at the ambulance.
Yeah, but wait.
No, this ain't right.
50 Cent right here, boy.
50 bars of pain. One day gone, niggas gon' remember my name. 50.
Give me the mic. Now, let me ride my bike.
You know how, like, you cut the weeds, new weeds grow.
Right.
You know, like the neighborhood, and they do a sweep, and there'll be new people on the corner shortly after. You know, because it's the opportunity that just opened up. They go out there and they take the chances. We take risks and points. You know.
Before the fame, the fortune, and the problems, Curtis James Jackson was born on July 6, 1975, in South Jamaica, Queens. He faced countless challenges growing up in a rough neighborhood that was flooded by drugs and violence.
Police officer was murdered in New York City this morning.
Death after death recorded in passing news briefs. But this one last winter drew national attention.
On a Queen Street.
Patrolman Edward Byrne, 22 years old, was assigned to protect a witness whose house had been firebombed, a witness in a drug case. It was an execution, a message from the drug dealers that South Jamaica is ruled not by government, but out of the barrels of guns.
In the 1980s, South Jamaica, Queens was an area with culture, but also plagued with problems. High crime rates, poverty, and the effects of the crack epidemic. This epidemic unleashed a brutal living environment. This is the world 50 would have to find his way in.
But in South Jamaica, the rhetoric is drowned out by another reality.
Where the other guy go?
He went around the corner.
For 2 years, the neighborhood has been the target of a special program ordered by the New York City Police Department. Murders here still rose by more than 30% last year, an increase blamed on crack.
This is a 357. Do a lot of damage. These bullets go right through the vest?
OnPoint, sure.
And these bullets go right through a police officer's vest.
Queens was a tough place to live, especially for Curtis when he was young. He was pulled into this world and paid close attention to how things worked on the streets. He would look up to the dealers as they showed a way to success that looked possible, but was also very risky.
On almost any corner, you can find business going on. Here's something changing hands. And here. And here in broad daylight, gets out his merchandise, hands something over to this man. And again here. And the teenage businessman counts a roll of bills. In South Jamaica, you don't have to be an adult to work in the drug trade.
There was a strong pull toward easy money, but there was also a strong chance of getting hurt or going to jail. Curtis saw his friends and neighbors give in to the pressures. He saw families split up, young people whose lives looked bright end in death, and the constant game of cat and mouse between drug dealers and police. He had a hardened view of life because of these events, which taught him early on about loyalty, betrayal, and the terrible price of desire.
I always believed if I got off the LST in Normandy that I would survive. But here, you don't even know if you go out your door, you might get shot.
Aaron Dozier lives down the block from the schoolyard drug market. He's a World War II veteran and a retired postal worker.
Officer Byrne was killed right near here.
Yeah, about 4 blocks from here.
And what happened after that?
They set up a headquarters in the house that he was supposed to be guarding, and all the dope pushers moved over to this side of the street.
They just lifted up there.
And took up the equipment and walked right over here.
They must not be
Sent
very
by the school.
Have they harassed the kids on the block?
Sometimes, yes.
Try to hustle the drugs too.
Try to make the kids either be lookout for the police, or have the kids selling it for them, actually. Because the kid can't get any time. So what can he do? He go. They have a kid make the deliveries.
Every time you hear this, what do you think? You've been in combat zones before. Do you ever think this is a combat zone too?
Yep. All night you can hear pistol shots, sirens.
There was a nurse shot not far from here.
My wife's, she worked with her. For 18 years, my wife worked with that nurse.
With the nurse who was killed. She was shot in a line of fire.
Yeah.
Tragedy struck when Curtis was just 8 years old. With the loss of his mother and her untimely demise, this would bring him to live with his grandparents.
You know, I grew up with my grandparents. You know, because my mom, she got killed when I was 8 years old. I had to live with them full time, and I went and stayed with them. And it was like, we was living on my grandfather's income. So he was real old-fashioned. He's representation of tradition for me. So he would just come and give my grandmother his check. And then later, like as an adult, he'll tell me, he said, you couldn't see it and you won't understand it because you was a baby. He said, but when I gave your mama the check, he said, when I gave your mama the check, it stopped her from looking at things I couldn't give her. Because she was aware of what was really there, it made my responsibilities her responsibilities. So she had to pay the bills. And because she was paying the bills, she knew she may require some black pumps because when we look good, we feel good.
That's right.
But she may not necessarily have to have red on the bottom.
This 50 Cent on my grandmother. See my grandmother right here, I love her to death. That's my grandmother right here. My grandmother, she like when my mom's passed, she like took me in and shit. You know what I mean? But I always was with her, like around, I was close to my grandmother. My grandfather, I would think if you had to ask me who do I favor, like who am I like the most out of my family, it would probably be my grandfather. This is my grandfather right here, right? He part of the reason I ain't rap too tight. You know?
I'm part of the reason you is rapping a little tight.
He's crazy. My grandpops is unpredictable. You know, like, it's hard to tell what's gonna happen or what he's gonna say. The police chased me on my motorcycle one time. They came through here, and it was like 2 precincts. They thought I killed 2 girls in Bricktown and shit. And they came and they was like, yo, they was chasing. And then I pulled up and then I lost them, right, Pop? And helicopter, all that. They had dogs, all that shit. You think they could catch me? You crazy, nigga. I got low on them niggas. I had a GSXR 750. The new shit, blew on them. Came through here. They came in here like, the white detective was telling them like, you know, because they thought I killed the girl, so they thought there was a possibility that I could have knocked on somebody's door, you know, and put the gun to them like, the fuck up, just, you know, chill till they leave.
The black guy said, give him to me, remember?
Give him to me, yeah. He gonna tell my grandfather, like, the black cop was in charge of the case.
Of the investigation.
Yeah, investigation. So the white dude was like he was gonna go talk to my grandfather. And then the black guy was like, no, give him to me.
Yeah.
You know, like, cause he was over the case. My grandfather was like, the fuck you mean give me to you? You know what I mean? Then Pops cussed him out.
Ain't never forget that lame boy. You talking about giving to me.
Son, bitch, and I had kids on the heat. I talked so much shit to him, he hauled ass.
I know. He got away from there.
That's the wrong man, but I'll open up on that motherfucker.
Now you see where I get it from, you heard me?
Curtis would look to find his way in a world that offered opportunities in the street life, and young Curtis faced choices that would set the course for his future. The streets taught him lessons no school ever could about loyalty, betrayal, and the high cost of ambition. As Curtis quickly adapted to his environment and gained his respect, eventually becoming 50 Cent. This transformation was more than just a change in name, but before he could become 50 Cent, Curtis had to survive.
When we met was funny. We met on some him trying to bully a nigga, you heard? I see this big nigga grilling me and shit, you heard? So he watching me, I'm watching him. So he wound up calling Silky over like, yo, Silky, come here, my nigga. Remember Silky and him good already. So he wound up calling Silky and shit like, yo, come here, my nigga, we just doing nigga. And he was like, nah, son, he good, I smirked and shit. And he was like, oh, all right, because I was about to slap this nigga and everybody you know, you heard? So that was our encounter, you heard? And the funny shit is, I had a 2.5 on me the whole time, you know? So I could have violated, you know? But I already knew he was the big stepper on the strip at the time, you know? But that was our introduction, you know?
For Curtis, Queens was both a battlefield and a school. As he became a teenager, the hustle became more appealing. Curtis felt like he had a lot of duty since his mother had died, and his grandmother was having a hard time making ends meet. He kept seeing the same thing. Young guys trading their futures for quick cash. The neighborhood had become a war zone, and Curtis was right in the middle of it. He watched, learned, and soon he was part of the scene. The promise of quick cash and the false sense of being in charge drew him in. If we fast forward, the same issues Curtis experienced are happening today. One of the main differences being social media was non-existent when he ran the streets, which makes you wonder if he could have experienced the same rise if he grew up in this era.
Rival gangs who terrorized South Jamaica residents with reckless gunfire, using drill music videos and social media to fuel their beefs. We got an exclusive look at their focused methods, which are very different from the wide net gang sweeps of the past. Some of the more than 30 suspects were already behind bars in state prison and on Rikers Island for other crimes. They were brought into the 111th precinct to be charged in this major gang conspiracy case. So serious were the safety concerns about the explosive rivalry between the crews known as Money World and their opposition, or Ops, the local trap stars, that police booked them at separate precincts to keep their family members and associates separated when they showed up.
It's pretty much shoot on sight when they see the opposition, and a lot of times innocent people are caught in the middle of it.
Over the last 5 or 6 years, these two gangs terrorized an entire community.
Before sunrise, more than 150 NYPD detectives and supervisors assembled for the takedown of the alleged gang members. Most are between the ages of 18 to 22 and have been arrested before.
The chaotic street life not only put him in danger, but it also molded his perspective and later influenced his music. These activities in the streets would catch up to him.
I've been in this position before. Grandma crib, niggas outside of her door.
As Curtis changed into 50 Cent, he started to shine. He quickly became known as a force by performing at local clubs.
Give me the mic. Now, let me ride my bike.
Fans connected with his stories, and many could relate to their own challenges. He learned a lot from being raised in Queens, and he put all of that knowledge into his music.
You see me in New York, you see me making my stacks. And if you see me on the alley, you see me taking the jack. And I think I'm all that. How y'all niggas feel about that? Be careful. This rap shit, it'll get to your head. How you screaming, fuck the police, when you scared of the feds.
Brand new, nobody don't know nobody. How do you get in all at one time? You make everybody that you feel like is somebody go, who's 50 Cent?
Making songs painted visual pictures of his life. Not long after that, he got the attention of big names in the business. In 1999, 50 Cent signed a deal with Columbia Records. He had an early setback when he was dropped from the label after being shot 9 times in a near-fatal event, but that only made him more determined.
I walked over here to sit in the actual vehicle that my friend was waiting for me in, and the car pulled up. On the side of us, a guy got out the passenger seat of that car, came around behind it, and shot through the actual car.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt as much as people imagine it hurts because of your adrenaline and how the shock of what's actually going on. It hurts after. I didn't know my legs were broke.
Really?
When I tried to get out the car at the hospital, both of my legs were broke. Like I broken 3 places on this side, and my hands, my legs several times, like 5 times in my hands, and then in my legs, and then in my face. When going through that experience, when you get hurt that bad, either your fear consumes you or you become a bit insensitive.
This situation would force 50 to make a pivotal decision in his life.
Following that, actually being shot, I was afraid because everybody involved in the situation was still physically available to do it again. And then it was like, I got tired of, in the recovery process, I got tired of being afraid. Mm-hmm. And then the only way that I could, to cover those emotions were to be a little more aggressive, to be angry about the situation opposed to dealing with how I was actually feeling at that point.
I walk around, gun on my waist, chip on my shoulder, top, bust a clip in your face,
That night created a pivotal moment that would force 50 to pick a path in his life. Miraculously, he survived, but the recovery was long and grueling, marked by intense physical pain and emotional struggles. This near-death experience became a defining moment that would fuel his determination. The incident not only helped solidify his persona, but also gave him lyrical content that fans connected to, directly helping his rise to success. However, his old rivals would think there were other factors at play.
It's an engine of chaos. You know, certain people say, you get shot here, right? He got shot in his mouth. You're like, that's inches, right? This is just me talking, everybody. It's not a thing, but who saved him? People be like, God. Your first thing is, God saved this guy. Maybe the devil, maybe Satan saved him. Because he's a great engine of chaos. I don't think God would save somebody who moves like that. I don't think God would save somebody who disrespects his own family and is just everything you think of 50 is just negative. He's just an engine of negativity, beef, chaos. Sounds like he's with Satan to me, man.
What are your thoughts on this? Regardless of what is said, the fact remains that 50 Cent was ready to take on the world with a protective vest and a strong will. 50 Cent's big break came when his mixtape, Guess Who's Back, landed in the hands of Eminem. However, this didn't happen by chance. 50 made another calculated move to align his motivation with opportunity.
Eminem, he had got his hands on a copy of a mixtape that I put out through my attorneys, Theo Stedemeyer. Paul Rosenberg is Eminem's representation, and they have a relationship, so that's how he got the CD.
My manager gave me a copy, and within the first couple of songs, I was like, yo, he's back.
Give me the mic. Now, let me ride my bike.
At that point in time, I think we had found out that he wasn't signed yet, so, we have a chance to maybe do something with him. Let's try to see what's up. So I think the first time I met 50 was at a release party. Was it in New York? I think it was in New York.
Impressed by 50's talent, Eminem introduced him to Dr. Dre, leading to a record deal with Shady Aftermath.
Go shorty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip a Bacardi like it's your birthday. And we don't give a...
Once 50 was signed to Aftermath, the chemistry would immediately spread like wildfire, creating a problem in the music industry.
Every song he was doing was so crazy there was nothing to get rid of. There was nothing that we could even say, oh, that would be cool for a mixtape. Patiently Waiting was one of the first beats I sent Fifth, actually. Patiently Waiting, I think, just had the cello, the strings on it, and the drums. Part of it was the respect that I had already had for him as a lyricist, you know? And the fact that, to me, he could make songs, and I hadn't planned on being on the song yet. You know, I just wanted to hear him do something to it. And then when I heard what he did to it, I was like, oh, maybe I could be on this one, and, you know, and then went and pieced it together later.
With this partnership, 50 Cent now had a team that empowered his drive. This also didn't happen by luck. Calculated moves were made that combined 50's story with his talent, and he was now backed by industry giants.
I was also trying to let anyone who didn't know the story of what had went on with Fifth, like kind of trying to explain a little bit of that. And like, look, this is what he's been through and this is where he's at now. You know what I'm saying? And this is the next dude. This is the next guy. Yeah, that was the whole thing, was to try to make that song, make it sound official. Okay, 50 is officially with us. For me, I can still put it in and it's still goosebumps.
I made a record, Fuck You. It's called Fuck You, that I did with Clark Kent. And I didn't even write the record. Like, I just went in the studio and, you know, the chorus go, I don't give a fuck who you are. Fuck you, y'all niggas is this and that. I'm just the best, you know. And then I just said fuck you to who I wanted to say fuck you to at the time. And then the next record, and surprisingly, everybody embraced the record. You know what I mean? It's the first thing they heard from me since I got shot. I dropped another record called You Not Like Me. You know, of course, like, you get shot and run to the cops, you're not like me. You know? And when that record, when they accepted that record, they accepted that record in a different way. Like, the Clue jumped on it, everybody jumped on that record in the street at the same time.
It's the people's choice, DJ Envy, Block Desert Storm. 50 Cent Wanksters on the album, don't copy it. The freestyles, the mixtapes, it's real ugly. Shots out, what up? Shadyville, you know how we do. Desert Storm, let's go.
His authentic style struck a chord with fans worldwide, and the album's success marked the beginning of a new era in hip-hop. But fame brought new challenges, and as 50 navigated fast motion of his rise, he remained focused on expanding his empire, setting the stage for his next moves in business and entertainment. However, his old ways and beefs would follow him from Queens right into the music industry, but this time he was ready.
Oh, 50, what's the definition of a wankster, man? I mean, what is that?
Ja Rule, Irv Gotti. I'll tell you personally, the Murder Inc., the people that you see like Irv, Ja, the people that are involved in the business aspect are bitches. Like, these niggas don't got no hood in them.
He's nobody. He's this person. Right, this person we're talking about, he's no one.
That's the whole wankster thing.
Some niggas ain't hustlers.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So when you got a nigga that's not a hustler, he becomes a buddy hustler. And what he does is he tries to eat off of other niggas' plates.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? By, you know, mentioning names and saying things.
Come here, give me a kiss, you little faggot.
And then wanting them to chant back. So that's why, you know, when you say the name, I say, who?
That nigga's a sweetheart, for real.
I don't know him.
He's a fruit pop, for real.
You know, he sells, like, no record. He hasn't even came out yet. Bleeding is nothing. You make a nigga die breathing and you're saying something.
50 would have no problem adding to his list of beefs. This only seems to help his career. However, it comes with a price. Next level security would be the solution to the type of attention this attracts.
This nigga had, I swear, you'd have thought it was the president of the United States in this bitch. Nigga, I look, you niggas got to moving around and nigga, I'm like, you don't see him unless they want you to see him. And even if you do see him, when you see him, you can't get to him. I never forget the move. That nigga 50 Cent pulled a move on us so gangster. Nigga, I think he played with us on purpose. Niggas like, yo, what? Nigga 50 he gonna be at the SLS hotel. What? Yeah, the little bar area over there. He gonna be in there. Nigga, word coming down. Paru, we through there. This one is on. Nigga, he pulled up in this motherfucking SLS hotel. Come in that motherfucker, like 10 of us. We coming in this motherfucker, I stop, I'm looking around. I'm like, something don't seem right about this scenery. Man, this nigga had about 8 Navy SEAL niggas. Real. These niggas got the shit in the air. These niggas is moving with the tactical head. They see this nigga got the moving. They position around. This nigga look back at us and smirk. Yeah, we ain't got no win with that. See you later, homie. We ain't got no. He did that on the West Coast. He did that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Took a bag.
50 sheds a little light on this incident and its preparation.
I come from like a place where you have to be ready. Don't get ready, you gotta be ready, right? And I would layer things around me to prepare for different type of situations. When they would run into it, they go, oh, shit, like this is, wait, it's not the neighborhood stuff, this is the other stuff, right? Like, and I went through had the same kind of vehicles Obama has. Level 6, you know, run flats, bomb-proof shit.
First thing you already ordered. Nori go last, baby. We gonna set this up. Yo, you giving me flashbacks when I was young. I was laughed at. Here's the facts. I had to stash cracks and my ass cracked. And yo, some cats get shot and some cats get smacked. These niggas get cringed and they don't know how to fucking act.
Through this documentary, you may have noticed there have been several repeated patterns throughout 50's story. These patterns or traits may be the exact answer behind why he has been able to rise to the level of success he's achieved so far.
Politics, a lot of politics and everything, from radio to like the opportunities they open up for you. It's politics all through the music business and entertainment business, period. So it's like, I think that when people feel threatened by a new artist, if you come up in a scenario where you know this person has talent that can possibly move you out of your position or your spot, of course you would like to prolong that as long as possible.
While many documentaries like this include both the words rise and fall, this story only includes the word rise. And again, this doesn't appear to be by chance. Perhaps there is a roadmap that can be followed and applied to any of our lives.
Think all the way through. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking all the way through, I'm planning all the way through, and I know I don't want to be a rapper forever. You know what I mean? I want to be like, you see how Dre, his company is going, and M is a part of his company, and I'm a part of his company, and those things are happening, and he still has the ear where he can sign the biggest project in the business. You know what I mean? And I want to be able to do those things too, so I want to set up where I can do that, and that's what the process was.
Let's break this down. 50 Cent's seemingly limitless success is clearly rooted in his determined mindset and strategic thinking. The traumas he faced growing up created significant adversity, including the loss of his mother and the constant presence of violence and crime. These early experiences molded a level of mental resilience, enabling him to bounce back from severe setbacks, such as his near-fatal shooting. He was somehow able to recover and transform trauma into a source of motivation. This allowed him to navigate the treacherous paths of street life and actually apply these lessons to the competitive music industry with equal success. On the surface, it seems 50 had the instinct to know what to do in these situations. However, at some point, it appears he was able to adapt to a blueprint that he somehow followed in part his entire life. Perhaps the principles found in Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power actually helped 50 reach new heights of success. These principles, such as creating a powerful persona, mastering the art of conflict, and completely destroying enemies, have clearly guided his actions and decisions throughout at least some of his career. Perhaps these principles can be applied to anyone's life to help reach your next level of success. If you've already read it, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Perhaps the blueprint was as far as it goes, or that may be the surface. If we look behind his relentless pursuit of success, there seems to be a drive for achievement and possibly a fear of failure. By creating the 50 Cent persona, he not only protected his vulnerabilities, but also reinforced his determination and control over his narrative, driving his actions and decisions. This combination of psychological resilience, strategic movement, and a drive for achievement has been instrumental in his success, empowering 50 to build an empire.